We have a lot of customers ask, what are effective strategies to reduce the noise of the air conditioner while they're running it? Because that can be one of the most annoying things in the home. If you're getting cold air, but it's waking you up at night, or you hear a bang every time it turns on, what are the effective strategies to get rid of those things? And it's going to depend on what is actually wrong with the system. So if it's a motor noise, like the blower motor, it could just be that the blower motor is wearing out and it has play in there and it's creating a racket, or the wheel is off balance. So that would just be addressing that. Another noise could be the air that's being pulled into the intake is creating a lot of wind noise. And that could just be your return is undersized. We find that the intake is undersized in a majority of homes in southern Arizona. So we would want to enlarge that, and that drops the noise. That also improves the efficiency quite dramatically because you're not straining the motor out and the system can breathe properly. We have some people talk about the whistling within the system. That's happening either at the supply registers or the return registers, and that's just due to a restriction in airflow. So we need to take a look at that and see if it's the register causing that, or there's not enough flow, or there's too much flow to that area where we can adjust that problem. Another thing is if you have a furnace in the middle of the home, in a closet, I've seen them even in the kitchen or somewhere where you have bedrooms on the sides, that is a little bit more difficult of a situation because you have a motor. Even if it's operating properly with the proper balance, you have a motor in the house. What we'll do is we'll get underneath where the furnace platform is and we'll create some barriers, because when you bend sound at a right angle, it cuts the sound in half. So if we create some barriers without air restriction and those barriers are sound absorbing, that's going to help out a lot. So if we increase the intake for the air noise and we can reduce the motor noise and then insulate that cabinet, that we call it the mechanical room where the furnace sits, that will then isolate that sound that might be coming through the door or the walls above. And so there's a lot of different ways we can help with a furnace that's right in the middle of the house. I've also seen where someone might have a tinging going on in the ductwork, and sometimes what will happen is a previous contractor might have put in some sheet metal to create a scoop and to push the airflow where it needs to go, and when the unit comes on, it bounces that against the other metal and creates a noise. Or if the ductwork is too small and it's not cross broken where they bend it to where it doesn't pop, you'll get this popping noise when the system first turns on. If you have a unit that's in the ceiling or the entire system is on the roof, you can actually get a transfer of that noise, that vibration coming through the roof and through the rafters, and that's solved just by isolating that sound. What we can do where the ductwork comes off of that package unit is we can put a transition that's rubber, and then we protect that from the sun, but then there's no direct metal on metal vibration transfer. And then underneath the system, from the metal system to the stand and then to the roof, we want to isolate that as well, and we can put isolation pads in there. Sometimes those wear out in time, but other times the install company just didn't do it, and then you get that heavy noise transfer through the ceiling. One of the other things that can make noise on the inside is if you have your return, your intake in the ceiling, and you have your filter in there, and when the unit turns on, there's some play, so it pops up and then drops down every time that unit turns on and off, and that can be really irritating. So we can solve that with just a really simple clip or device that doesn't have that movement in the intake. So that can all be some solutions of what's going on the inside. Now on the outside unit, you have other noises that can be going on. It can sound like a jet engine going on out there when that compressor kicks on, or the fan is bouncing all over the place. So it could be a balancing on the fan, it could be the condenser fan motor going out, could be the compressor is just starting to wear and you need more oil and lubricant within the compressor. Now if you have an older system and we come out and analyze everything that's going on and it's just that it's old and some of those systems are extremely noisy, it might be time to consider a replacement. Systems around here, they say last about 11 years, and the older ones are extremely noisy, and there's not a whole lot of solutions for that other than replacement. The new systems, you would be amazed at how quiet they are, and you can have that peace and quiet in your house, even in your backyard where the outside unit was making all that noise. You won't hear that anymore with the better systems. So if you'd like an analysis on the home where we can figure out what's creating the noise, or if you'd like an estimate for replacing your system, feel free to give us a call. It's 520-888-8787, and you can find us on our website, iDesignAC.com.